HomeMADE. 10 designers from around Australia will take on the biggest renovation competition ever attempted.
Oh my God.
What are we doing? We're crazy!
Every week, they'll completely make over 2 family homes.
There's heaps of rooms out here. Just put me in a padded cell for 8 hours.
The designers will compete under the watchful eye of host and design guru David Hyman.
A good designer should be able to achieve a silk look on a polyester budget.
Every week, they'll face the judges.
This room is so bad that you actually think it's good.
This is a really sophisticated kitchen.
The bar should have been raised and the bar should stay where it's been raised to.
And one designer will be sent home.
Everyone deserves to be here. That's the sad thing.
We all have so much to offer as designers.
I don't think I realised how much it would affect me.
Come here. Oh.
I mean, this is a competition between 10 designers. I want them all to give me and give everyone the best that they can. This is not just about who wins and who loses. It's about the family's homes. It's about bringing about the best designs they can. It's about care and an expression of individuality. We've brought these 10 designers from all around Australia. Each of them obviously have a passion to create something special. Chantel may be the youngest, but I think her sheer exuberance and her energy, I think she's really going to capture the imagination of her clients.
If I was to win,
It'd be awesome. I'd be able to buy so many pairs of shoes.
Matt from Melbourne, he's had a lot of experience.
I'm under a lot of pressure from Melbourne to win, and I really want to win.
Leonie's an interesting one. She's almost kind of quirky and she seems to have a real strength of character.
I'm pretty easygoing, but I also have elements of being quite a control freak.
Richie, he's full of energy and positivity.
Designing is my life. I couldn't think of anything else that I'd rather be doing.
And Tony, Tony's so vibrant, and I think it'll be really interesting to see how she mixes up with the others.
A, I'm an only child. B, I've never lived out of home. And C, I'm a very messy person.
Darren has a certain way of doing things.
Well, winning the competition would be, a dream, because not only would I get the kudos, I'd get the cash too.
I think Darren's obviously a really tough competitor. Annie, she's the eldest of the group. She's never worked with a client, ever.
With regards to the general public, I haven't had a lot of hands-on experience.
Matthew's very talented. He's a father of 3.
I miss them dearly, and being away from them is going to be hard, but I know they're proud of me and I'm proud of them.
Stacey's quite young.
Whilst I'm on the show, I'll miss my husband the most.
But she's had some excellent experience with some renowned interior designers. Jason, he's a model, and he wants to be involved in interior design.
My whole thing of being here is kind of like a spiritual thing, and I'm hoping that forces will come from the universe to really help me, and I'm really relying on that.
Let's face it, this is a marathon for the designers. They have to work damn hard to make this happen. And so it's important for them to have a place to come back to that's a good workspace where they can come up with designs and ideas. And our designers are working with real families, real couples, real individuals. And they need to do the best job they can. And I'm there for them. I want them to succeed to the best level they can.
Meanwhile, across town, at two other homes are the designer's first clients. On the left, it's the Griffiths.
When we bought the house, we had visions of being able to do a lot of things to it, didn't we?
Yeah.
With the little one, you know, priorities change.
Yeah, house isn't number one. And it's an experience of a lifetime that we wouldn't have been able to do.
Well, welcome to our lounge room. It kind of looks a bit like a hospital waiting room, actually.
This is the kitchen. It's original 1950s. We've got a single sink, no dishwasher, so this is it. There's no life or warmth to the house and it just feels a bit stark.
Right next door, it's the Mirandos.
We have two children, Bronte and Ben, and we've been living in this house for 11 and a half years.
Our dining room is sort of basically in our kitchen. As you can see, the feeling is it's very closed in and we'd love to open up the space. It's a kitchen nook. When we're all in here together, it gets really crazy. We're always bumping into each other, so it's really kind of like a one-person kitchen.
Our bathroom is in its original condition when we moved into the house. I think it probably hasn't been worked on maybe 10, 15 years before that. We haven't attempted to do anything to the house so far because any spare finances we've had, we focused on the kids.
Your family's the most important thing, so it's amazing that it's actually going to happen to us.
Back at design headquarters, our designers are about to be split into their two teams.
Got upstairs and the teams had been allocated.
Game on, Moles.
We had some plans of the houses set up on boards and each person's name was in a room, so that was pretty exciting.
On the Mirandos team are Chantel, Stacey, Richie, Darren and Matthew.
I was so excited. I cannot believe my team are just the most amazing, amazing people.
I know what I want to do with my space.
They will compete against the Griffiths team of Tony, Leonie,
I need to spend the most amount of money in the bathroom.
Matt,
Yeah, we'll negotiate that, darling.
Annie and Jason.
They're really nice people. They're on the ball. They're going to help me. We are a team, and that's the bottom line.
Knock out that wall.
Yeah, you need to knock that out.
The challenge is to make over the entire home in just 5 days. The key to the competition is to beat the house next door. The losing team will face elimination. And sadly, one designer will go home.
Everyone was so eager to get out of the car and just start designing.
Hi, Stacey. Lovely to meet you. Hi, Janet.
The first thing that each team needs to do this morning is listen to the brief from the client. It's the crucial thing.
As you can see, the lounge room feels quite closed in, so we need to create a sense of space. There's 4 of us living here and it's just too small, so...
We can do that.
Yep.
For sure.
Okay, cool.
Bronte's room.
Yeah. So meeting with Mick and Bronte first, obviously, because I've got the 2 kids' rooms. They're all about the children's personalities.
Maybe like smaller cupboards.
Somewhere for his books.
Richie's bedrooms, I think, will be quite colourful. He seems to have an understanding of the children's individuality, and I think he's really going to inject that into the rooms.
What I'm going to do is put their personalities into it, basically, after talking to them, and they're moving on to a different stage in their life. We've got some really funky stuff for your room as well.
Richie is very good with kids. He's got to their level quite quickly. Ben has a particular design issues that Richie saw and put that into his room.
Bit nervous? You have some trust in me?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was given the master bedroom.
We need more space. We need more storage in here.
What they've God in that space is just clutter.
Look at this. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
No, it's too busy.
Chantel seems very confident about what she's going to do in the main bedroom. It'll be very interesting to see how she places her furniture because it's still quite a small bedroom.
We've played around with a couple of different ideas and colours and really kind of jazzing things up a little bit so when they walk in there it's more of a luxury space, a parent's retreat as such.
Next door at the Griffiths, the client briefing is also well underway.
The whole group had to have a briefing with Kirsten and Brent to find out what they wanted to happen to the house. Ultimately, it's their decision.
We haven't spoken about the construction of the house, which is concrete, tilt
thing.
slab.
Yeah.
So you can't.
It's quite unique.
Yeah, it's really hard to knock down walls or cut through walls.
That's right, the girls have got a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
We tried to come up with ideas together, but everyone kind of, once they got their room, they really kind of did go and do their own thing.
It's small. It's definitely small.
Apparently it's not good actually to have
isn't it?
family photos in the bedroom.
Why?
Because you're not supposed to have a family watching you when you're doing it. Sorry, close your ears, you shouldn't have heard that.
Jason's working on the main bedroom and it's a little bit of a difficult room and it's a little bit ordinary and it doesn't have a huge amount of character. So he's really going to have to inject an atmosphere into this room.
I only have a simple rectangle room and there's not a lot I can do in there, really. It makes me think, okay, if we lost next week, I could easily be booted off first.
This is the room I'm going to be doing. Yes, it is my first client ever. Wow. I think we've got to inject some colour in here, some liveliness.
The family has given her a good brief for the nursery. They want a contemporary feel. They're letting her run with it and inject some real personality into the room.
And I've got another bedroom, haven't I? Oh, this is a tiny one. This must be the spare room.
The guest room needs to double also as a reading room. So I think she's going to have to be very careful. It's quite a small room.
Okay, so the office. We want to downsize it, yeah? That's right. Okay, so this wall will come down.
To completely make over an entire home in just 5 days, there's no way the designers can do it on their own. So each team is provided with a builder free of charge. For the Mirando team, that's Brad.
I got a plan with me, so have a little squeeze.
While the teams have 5 days to deliver the entire renovation of their house, the designers who are doing the bedrooms have just 2 days to finish their rooms.
Richie and I have a deadline for Thursday, so the pressures of that, getting the first 3 rooms that need to be completely finished, like pristine, is starting to kind of hit home.
The deadline for finishing the bedrooms is especially important because the families have to live through the renovations and as of this moment have nowhere to sleep.
It's all evolving, isn't it? I mean, look around us. It's crazy.
We're sitting out in the street around our furniture.
Yes.
Before this week is over, the teams will have to make over every single room in the house. Before that can happen, every stick of furniture will have to be removed. The bathrooms have to be demolished, walls torn down before they can be rebuilt. Everything has to go, right down to the kitchen sink. There's no turning back now. At the Griffiths house, the scale of the project is truly daunting, even after the arrival of their builder, Mark.
Mark, nice to meet you. Leonie. Mark, Matt, nice to meet you. Well, I think the designers have got the biggest challenges in getting everything finalised. And really today, they've only got a couple of hours to get everything finalised, and then I've got to go and do it.
The designers really need to be on their toes today. In order to meet their deadline, they'll have to make lots of important decisions really fast. Not just carpets, but furniture, construction, budgets and paint colours.
You're liking that more than...
You know, it is my first job and the amount of pressure and it's like an absolute boiling pot.
The designers haven't really made any decisions yet. You know what colour you want?
No.
When are you going to tell us the colour?
Because nobody's
Well, when are they going to paint it?
I don't know.
Just choose a colour. Have you got a paint shop?
I think I've heard the builder Mark screaming at a few of the interior designers a few times.
Why are you pressuring me?
Well, yours is due first.
Yeah, mine's not the only room.
It's very important to build a good rapport with the tradespeople because if you work well with them, they will look after you.
Yeah, I've got to get the painter order in before
10
they
minutes.
close. They shut at 5.
So what about the colours? Have you chosen the colours you want to paint? The painting.
Mark definitely came up a few times as like, you need to work out budgets, you need to do this.
And budget. Have you worked out budget?
Having them come up is probably good. It pushes us. So I'm kind of glad that they're cracking the whip.
There's very little direction because they don't know what they want yet. So we've got a few things that we can do, but to get it all finished off in the time, it's going to be a stretch, I tell you.
Tomorrow's going to be crazy. I have to finish this bedroom in 2 days. Not painted yet, carpet's not done yet. Really haven't even started, so...
Back at the Mirandos, Richie is getting his designs for the kids' rooms underway.
I guess with the 2 rooms that I have, we could only start prepping and, you know, I've got all my cabinetry ordered, the painters have started, builders are in, you know, everything was kind of to where I wanted it to be.
To be honest, I have the master bedroom and the money has not been spoken about how much I'm actually going to be spending. I'm conscious of funds, and especially when there's people that have also got grand ideas and that want to be noticed in the competition.
$50,000 seems like a lot of money, but if it's not allocated wisely, room by room, it can all go pear-shaped.
I got the kitchen and I was like, oh, thank God, you know, I was just really relieved. My major concern now is how much is it going to cost? I have no idea. I have literally no idea.
This is where the problems start. Darren's been designing this grand plan of a kitchen, which he's sold to the client, but now the quote's back and he's way over budget at $17,000.
$17,000 on a kitchen. I mean, it is a decent budget for a kitchen. Yes, I don't completely think that in this case that we should have spent that with what we have.
You can't go into this just thinking about your own room because you could pull the whole team down.
We all have to realise that we can be all on the chopping block because there's no freaking money left.
It's the end of day 1. And 2 family homes, which were lived in this morning, are now completely uninhabitable. The interiors verging on disaster zones. No safe place for a family to sleep.
We're kind of blessed to actually have some great homeowners that are living in a tent in the back of their house until this is all done.
We're getting back to nature, you see. We're going to get some fresh air and have a clean start in the morning. Well, tomorrow is another day.
Another day in paradise.
I guess the budget, we're all a little bit concerned about where we are.
The painters haven't been paid.
No.
For the tiler, I've got 1.5 to 2.
Hours? Yeah, but what
Days.
about times 2?
Isn't it?
There are 2.
And
Guys, we're in big trouble. We're in really big trouble.
Yeah, whoa.
Each team has $50,000 to spend. $50,000 is a lot of money. So these designers have everything they need to make a stunning renovation.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Did you sleep all right?
Took me a while to get to sleep with all the wild animals in the backyard.
Don't talk about our children that way.
Our designers are working with real families, real couples, real individuals.
Isn't that gorgeous?
A good designer has to tap into that client. And it's very important to listen.
We bought this on our honeymoon.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you guys would use that. Don't know.
You really love it?
No, that's fine, that's fine.
The designers are under intense pressure, and it's very important for them to look at the big picture and to consider how everything is going to come into play. They have to complete their living spaces, dining, kitchen and bathrooms. So the pressure's on. They really have to come up with the goods.
It was really hot, but I didn't care. I angle grinded a floor. I used an electric power drill. It was fantastic.
So hot. Leonie on the power tools is hot.
I think it makes you a better designer, understanding how things need to happen. That was very satisfying, actually.
For first-time designer Annie, today is going to be her toughest test yet. She has not only the nursery, but also a guest room to finish before tomorrow's deadline.
I'm needing a Roman blind made.
Annie's just Annie.
Is that possible? Everything is possible. I love your attitude.
Annie, I think, is having a little bit of a tough time.
She's got her own little thing going on.
I rang this lady called Lee and asked her if she could make a Roman blind.
Hello. Hello, how are you? Good, I'm looking for Lee.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed like, everything was going to go along quite smoothly. So you've made Roman blinds before?
Oh, yes.
Because this is the first Roman blind that I've ever asked to be made.
Okay.
Then she started to ask some questions that I thought, hang on a minute.
What's this called?
I realised that in actual fact, she'd probably never made a Roman blind before in her life. Do you have them or haven't got anything?
We haven't got anything.
Right. The Roman blind is not going to be made.
If the blind's not as amazing as you first thought, then so be it, but you've got to deliver, so I hope she does.
Yeah.
And then
the blackout.
So Chantal and Richie have got to deliver their rooms by 4 o'clock tomorrow, so today's been really hectic for them. I think we had a realisation that we're going to have to get fully behind those guys.
I'm going to help Richie.
Yeah,
Chantal.
yeah.
Okay.
we are painting panels for master bedroom. They're going to be located behind the bed.
I think Chantal has it under control. And it's going to be tight for Richie. I don't know how he's going on with the tea staining of the musical notes.
So what I'm doing here is making my own kind of wallpaper. I've got some sheet music. Cool. So basically, I'm going to dip them to age them. Come on.
This poor Richie's got the toughest job. He's giving himself the biggest challenge.
Tomorrow is D-Day for us, so I just can't wait.
Just got to do it.
Let me at 'em.
Day 3, bedroom delivery day, and not a moment too soon for the Mirandos.
It was very hot last night. The builders next door were buzzing away, so I was a bit cranky when I woke up this morning. I'd like to sleep in my own bed tonight. I'd really like to. Hopefully that'll be possible, yeah.
Today is a really critical day. Is the day where Chantal and Richie had to have their bedrooms finished. I went inside just before and the 2 other bedrooms, Richie's bedrooms, haven't even been painted, so the pressure is on 4 o'clock whether or not we are able to deliver on time.
The boys are putting the cabinets in, so they're nearly done. Clean up, still painting. It's mad, but ask me in 3 hours, eh?
The other critical thing that was on our minds today was our budget. One unknown factor was labour, which we were looking for some input from Brad, our builder, of which he delivered some disturbing news, I guess you could say.
All right, Stace.
Yeah.
Gone through some figures for you. So I don't know what you're expecting. It's gonna be a bit over 10 grand.
I beg your pardon, $10,000.
I choked. Seriously, I couldn't believe it. It was a huge slap in the head.
That's what they charge. You got to pay them.
That took us over budget.
The reason they're over budget is because they have too many grand ideas and they're spending too much money on each room. While Brad the builder comes to them for free, every other tradesman is being paid by the hour, out of their budget. And those hours are adding up, day by day.
They basically said we can actually be disqualified before we even present the room.
Okay.
About what, sorry?
What can we do? Everything's done, ordered, almost
It's on its way.
What's wrong?
No, I said, you could be disqualified because your labour costs have come in at X and it made the budget Minus. So where are we going to get the money from if we're completely over?
I've got no idea.
Yeah, okay. I was freaking out a bit because I had stacks to do and there was this escalating budget crisis.
An absolute mayhem. They're all stressing and they're saying that we're going to be disqualified, and it's all ifs and buts. What we really just need to be concentrating currently is getting the rooms finished on deadline. Can I just have a bit of a chat for a second? It's 5 to 12, guys, and unfortunately with the lack of budget that we've got, we're going to have to let you guys go at 12 and just only do a half day with you.
That's up to them. They're going to learn the hard way.
You still got 5 more minutes. Get back in there.
Sacking the painters may be the only way that they can get back on budget, but this is going to cause real problems for finishing the rest of the house, let alone the bedrooms that need to be delivered later today. Now it's all going to come down to teamwork. Every designer is going to have to work on every room.
I wanted to wallpaper the back wall because it's very rough, so I'm having like a flat masonite wall put in.
You only get one shot at this, really.
Yes. None of the patterns are the same throughout, so because we have to line it up, we actually have to make sure that it's exact. It's supposed to be 42 degrees, it felt like 50. My pants were falling, they actually did fall off at least twice to my knees.
Looks good.
I swear I must have either lost weight or someone's been stretching my pants.
Oh, pants are falling down, Jace.
Oh, that's great. I just sweated and it's falling off.
Wallpaper on this whole.
Yeah.
Who's doing that?
Jace.
Jace.
Who is Jace?
You guys have to do it. I haven't got enough time.
No way. No, you've got to hang it, sweet.
It looks like I'm cornered and I've got no chance.
Jason, the painter, doesn't particularly like wallpapering.
That wallpaper is actually visually more important because you walk into that room and the first thing you see is the wallpaper.
He was hoping that I was going to do the wallpapering, and I said, it's really important because this is the feature wall. It's the wall that you first see when you walk in the room. It has to be done right.
Now I have to go and paint something.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm busy.
Guys, I know this is important, but we've got like 3 hours on deadline and the rooms are a mess. The 1:30 budget meeting, I mean, 3.5 hours before my deadline, and seriously, my rooms look like Beirut.
Richie was particularly concerned because he wanted to get out and buy a few more things, but we couldn't give him the okay to buy anything until we knew how much we were spending.
Can you just call us before you get to the cash register what it's going to cost?
I believe that we wasted so much time sitting around having conversations that could quite possibly have been discussed at a later date.
Yes, I was on my chair and trying to go and just anxious to get out of there to get to the shops.
I feel so sorry for Richie.
Yeah, well, could be another night in the tent.
Not the best day.
In just a few hours, the designers will be presenting their bedrooms. It's the designer's first chance to get some really valuable feedback from design guru David Hyman, founder and owner of the famous design store Orson & Blake.
This is not just about the designers and who wins and who loses. It's about the family's homes and about bringing about the best designs they can. And I'm there for them. I want them to succeed to the best level they can.
He's got so much industry knowledge and professional knowledge, and I'm honoured to have him as a mentor. I think it's just an incredible situation that we've all been gifted with, and we really need to take advantage of it.
You know, there's fabrics from here. I mean, I was thinking maybe we should put in something like this. An individual can be a great designer, but a truly gifted one needs to solve the problems at hand.
Because I couldn't get the Roman blind made on time, I made a decision then just to go with the ready-made curtains for this room. They've been packaged, so they've got creases in them. If we don't get the window dressings done, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
I'm seriously not going to make it.
There was so much to do, blinds to hang up, wallpaper still wasn't hung, furniture hadn't even been put together. So there was just a lot of like them trying to grab all the other team members to get things to happen.
Definitely not taking up a job as a wallpaper. It hasn't been too bad considering it's our first time.
Oh, that looks hot, Jace.
Looks good, doesn't it?
It's coming together.
Yay.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, I love that wallpaper. It's enough to make me want to have kids.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Never enough for me.
Matt took the car and ran a few errands for the team. Most of the order was for me. We actually had a video conference on the phone.
I've got a couple of options for you. It's like a sphere. The video call, it's just so easy for time constraints, so it was really useful.
So that's not an option?
The other option is that one.
All right, Maddie.
Matt fulfilled the brief for the children's lights, and he's a good man.
When I came back, I realised that things still hadn't been done, things hadn't been organised. We've got 2.5 hours. Is the electrician here to install your pendant lights?
I don't know.
The stress is really starting to hit now.
Time's running away from us, isn't it?
I was expecting it to be a little bit further along.
Time is of the essence. We've only got like 2 hours to go. I haven't had lunch. I haven't even had a toilet break.
Some of the crucial things like where's the electrician. I also had to assemble lights for her room. She seemed to be more preoccupied with the smaller picture issues.
And there was a white bee. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Because she was so stressed about how she was going, it kind of made all of us go, well, we don't know if she's going to get it over the line. Attach into the run on the drop side first. See, like, what the hell does that mean? They go in there, you reckon?
We're going to... Oh, that's a big blob of rain.
And then it hailed. And then it hailed. And I'm like, God's punishing me. And our furniture was outside. That was fun.
We had paint buckets open. There was stuff everywhere. We had to quickly run out in a frenzy and just cover it all.
It was total chaos. The heat, the bodies, the sweat, the just rushing around. I just can't. It was a blur.
Do that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh. Can you just help this gentleman here? Come with me, come with me, come with me. Yeah. I'm trying to delegate. Man, they're useless.
Scared shitless, actually. I need a drink. Can't even think. The team's we're all pitching in. It's a really good team unit. It's day in the life of a renovation, isn't it?
We've just put in all of the beds. We've still got the artworks that need to come on to go onto the wall, and we've got the mirror to just be hung in the corner there.
At the end of the day, it was all hands on deck. Even the family got involved to try and clean things up. And yeah, I mean, it was just one of those situations that it's something that I've never been involved with. And quite frankly, I hope it's not that frantic again.
This is crazy. What am I doing?
Vacuum.
Less than half an hour to go, so we're all frantically trying to help Annie and Jace just like get final finishing touches done, like flowers, bedspreads, decorations, picture frames, all that stuff. It's absolute madness.
I know the families will be delighted to have their new bedrooms back tonight. And I have to say, I'm really looking forward to seeing the results.
I think he's going to like it.
He might not love the console. He may hate the yellow, I don't know.
I have been through a lot to get here. Hello, David.
Hey.
What are you
How are you feeling?
I'm relieved.
Now, talk to me about this room. This is our guest bedroom.
I've injected some colour in here.
You have indeed.
Yes, and I love it because it makes it light and bright and fresh, and you want to be here.
It's an interesting colour. It's nice that you've used one of the old pieces from the family, this beautiful old chest.
Yeah.
That adds personality to this room, which I think...
Kirsten was rapt.
He kind of liked what I did. And that's very satisfying coming from someone of his calibre.
This is Zoe's bedroom.
Wow.
Zoe's 6 months old.
Okay, big colour.
big colour.
Big, bold colour.
This colour actually, you know, it's called zesty, and it is a zesty colour. It makes
It
you feel
sure
alive.
is. I mean, it's got a lot of power to it. It's a very intense colour to choose for a room that is a room for rest and a peaceful room for a child to sleep in.
I actually thought, well, we'll use this wallpaper, and Kirsten looked at it and said she loved it.
I'm a little concerned with the quality of it. It seems
Oh,
to
heavens.
have a tear in it
one
already.
one of our workmen probably in the rush. I'll get that fixed
Yeah,
by
she'll have to
today.
get onto
Oh,
that
heavens
because, again, this is the sort of detail that's going to pop up.
yeah.
As soon as I walked in the room, this shade was glaring at me. It's kind of odd.
I actually didn't go searching for the lightings. One of the team members did.
But this is your room.
I know it is. You're
You know,
absolutely
this
right.
is a very contemporary room, and
Yes.
it just feels like you've popped up some old shade that's come from
Right.
another scheme altogether.
Right,
and there's no continuity. It just doesn't make sense to
All
me.
right.
And this is the thing to remember. It's all very well to make the right decisions and come up with beautiful colours and wallpaper like Annie has in her room. But, you know, the judges come in and see everything. And if there's one thing wrong, like the pendant, it stands out. It screams. Jason.
Hello.
Hello. Tell me about this room. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, no, I was really happy that actually at least we met the time frame. So
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with the way it came through.
I like this tonal, the carpet that you chose, the curtains, the upholstery on the bed, and the soft furnishings that you've put in here. I think you've made some beautiful choices here. I think it's really popped and, you know, it's helped to the silver grey and the white, you know, and it's given it a bit of joy. But, you know, when you're lying in bed and looking back at this wall,
Yeah.
what's happening here? There's nothing happening.
That's one thing I'm not loving either. I knew David would dislike that wall, the console area.
What's your intention here? I mean, this is finished now. I think you might have to take into careful consideration and think about doing something else to this. If you can just hurry up and think about something very fast that you can do to this whilst you're helping the others finishing the house.
I'd love
This
to.
could be detrimental to what the judges are thinking. I think it's very important to remember that a room has to be treated in its entirety. You know, there are 4 walls to a room and every part of the room needs to be decorated and looked after beautifully. I think you've got to make this sing.
Okay.
Good luck.
All
Do
right.
something with it.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye.
Thanks for your honesty.
I think the countdown was like 2 minutes before we got the mattress in there.
Flat sheets.
So it's just incredible.
Go, go, go. I mean, there was pillows flying everywhere and beds coming in.
Back pillow. Come on, go,
Oh God. Oh my God. That was the most hectic experience ever. I can't believe that just happened. What are we doing? We're crazy!
Shite. Yep. Just didn't get there. There's more music to go. There's more dressing to do. It's just very rushed. Look, the bed's not even straight. I've fallen short of the mark.
David arrived and didn't seem overly impressed with the whole scheme.
Chantal. Hello. How are you?
Good, are you
Well,
too?
isn't this good? Janet and Mike won't have to sleep out in the tent tonight.
Yeah, they're
Considering
very
it's
happy.
raining today.
Very happy.
This, though it's a good choice of colour, I think you're going to have to get an iron onto this.
Definitely.
It's not quite finished, is it?
No, not quite finished at all.
This is the sort of thing when the judges come through, they will be very carefully looking at everything. It was looking very spacious and now it's, you know, broken up a little, I think. I'm a little concerned about some of the pieces in here. I think you could have had more volume in the curtains. They seem very flimsy. Could you not have stacked up maybe 2 more? If you just had more volume, they would look more generous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be careful with your planning. I mean, I know that you had a vision for this room, but I fear that it's a little undeveloped.
Yeah.
So I wish you luck.
Okay, thank you. Oh, isn't he nasty?
Richie.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening here? It's not finished.
Yeah, it's just a little bit short.
A little bit short. It's looking a lot short.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yep. Just several things didn't go to plan and didn't turn up and, you know, the usual sort of thing.
You've done one wall.
Yep.
Okay.
And it was to be behind the mirror as well.
Okay.
So
you've started that?
Yes. Well, this is kind of her study. Obviously, she's going into higher levels of school. So it's kind of a dressing room come study, you know. They've got to have their laptop there, but then she'll be straightening their hair. So that's the idea behind this.
It should have been finished today.
Yes.
Where did the time go?
Yep, I've just had lots of things go wrong, basically.
Have you?
Yeah.
You must be feeling nervous about it, though, because now you really should be going to help your other team players and spend some time with them, but your time's going to be taken up with this room.
I'll do anything I can to, one, get this finished, and two, help them out and get this house done.
Let's have a look at the other room.
So, David, this is Ben's room.
Ben's room,
Ben's
again.
room.
Another one unfinished. Now you've got 2 rooms that you have to finish.
Yes.
Okay. So let's have a look at what's happening over here, Richie, with the wardrobe and what you've done with this. So you've actually taken the doors off this side of the wardrobe and now there's a dual purpose to this whole space, which is really clever.
Yeah.
You've really worked with something that was previously just a storage space.
Yes.
And there's now a duality here. I think it's a really good idea and I think you've really made that work. So you've made this artwork.
Yes.
Brilliant. He'll like that.
It up.
And it'll suit his personality, I think.
Definitely. And that's
Great.
what I've tried to inject into both children's rooms.
Yes.
Is their personalities.
I do have to say that there's a lot that I'm concerned about. You know, you've got a lot more work to do and the judges will be looking at every single detail. And at this stage, you're going to have to do a lot more to this room to make it work. So you're really just going to have to pull on all resources and make some magic happen, I think, in this room. Because remember, someone will be voted off this week.
Yes.
I hope it's not you.
Thanks, David.
Not finishing rooms at this stage of the game is really letting your team down.
There's a hell of a lot in that house. I think that needs to be done.
The judges will be here in only 2 days. Richie is going to have to dig deep to give his team the chance to complete their house before the final deadline.
Next time on HomeMADE, the countdown is on and the challenge for the designers is truly daunting.
Pressure is on.
They still have to complete the living spaces, the bathrooms and the kitchens.
Do something, Matt. Don't let anybody touch those tables.
With less than 48 hours to go from building sites to beautiful homes. Then they will face the judges.
This is really clever.
I don't think there was a lot of teamwork.
That's not good at all.
One team will win, one team will lose,
I didn't come here to go home in the first week.
and one designer will go home. And that's just the beginning. Every week, the challenge gets harder.
They're going to look at my kitchen and say it's
2 new homes, 2 new clients.
I don't know that I like it.
The renovation marathon will continue.